What's up, guys? Seemed like a good time for a stream. It's storming pretty bad outside, so I'm kind of bored tonight. So figured I'd hop on here for a little Sunday night stream. Oops, wrong channel. Let's see, there we go. There's the chat. What's up, guys? Anonymous, Catching Cryptids, Escaped Alien, Funkle Slumpkin, and Smoking Them Grits. What's up, fellas? All right, there we go. All right, so tonight we're going to do 2 more boxes of Cryptid Nation First Edition. We've done 4 boxes on stream so far, and I've only pulled really nothing. We haven't pulled any Mothman out of 4 boxes. No red ink. I don't think a single Sam Sinclair. We got, I think, 1 full hollow Chaos Crystal and 1 full hollow Loveland Frogman out of 4 boxes. All of them from the Vend HQ. What's up, Optimus and Balls Mahoney, Team Rocket Rob? What's up? Oh yeah, and a quick note. So we still don't have the promos, the new promos yet, the new Nick Hour promos. They're supposed to be delivered on Monday, so tomorrow, to the guy that owns LawCal. Then he's going to ship them to me from there. So we will have those soon. But what we're going to do is we're going to auction off for charity. 100% of all proceeds of these eBay auctions are going to charity. So we're doing 1 of the promo cards, the new ones, the serialized pre-release full hollow, as a 100% charity auction. 1 of the uncut sheets. So we got 6, actually we got 5 uncut sheets. So we're going to auction off 1 of those. Again, 100% charity. The charity is the local branch of the SCPA. So it's like an animal shelter. And then right now, so already on eBay, there's an 8.5, which is the highest grade we've got left of like the sample promo. Also 100% for charity. And then the first ever CGC Gem Mint 10 of the Golden Tape. It's like their probably one of their biggest, most collectible cards. This is also 100% for charity on my eBay. So there's a link in the description for those. I've just gotten so many people that have messaged me trying to buy them like under the table, because a lot of people don't make it to the streams. A lot of people watch like the replay, so they don't really have a fair shot at the giveaway during the stream, which is kind of the incentive point of the, stop in the stream and try to get one during the stream. But I've had enough people message me trying to buy, and I don't want to sell one under the table. So I think it's fair that people who don't make it in time for the stream have a chance to bid on one. So I want it to be public, transparent if I do sell one, and then have it all go to charity. So this one is on eBay right now, and this was too 100% for charity. So shout out to LawCal. I think it'll do pretty good. But we should have those promos. He's getting them Monday. So they're coming from the printer in China. He's getting them tomorrow, Monday. And then hopefully I'll have them middle of the week when he ships them to me. So we're either going to do a middle of the week stream, or we'll do a weekend stream with the new promos. Beckett now grades all the CGC, or I'm sorry, Beckett now grades all the LawCal cards too. So that's also an option. And I've got 20 of the sample promo Beckett too, so maybe we got a chance at a 10. But anyway. Hopefully tonight we have a little bit better luck with the first edition. It's kind of pissing me off that these boxes have pretty bunk. Not a single Mothman out of 4 boxes has to be my worst luck on first edition yet. Connection is good? Good. I thought it'd be pretty bad tonight because it's been storming here all weekend. We're getting like the leftovers of the... Is it a hurricane there in Florida? Whatever the storm is down south. Okay, cool. I thought this one didn't have a box topper for a second. That almost freaked me out. I think I saw someone say they think there's going to be a red ink here. What's up, JP Gaming? Cool, you got your card yesterday. Awesome, bro. I'm glad. And this does not look like a red ink from what I just saw. Forest Aura. What's up, Jonathan Barrios, Debo, Metazoo Menace, Peter Shao? Thanks, Atlantis. Wait till you see the new ones that we've got coming. I think they're way better, but I think it's kind of cool that we have like the sample version. I'm super stoked for the uncut sheets too. I love uncut sheets, and I think these look pretty sick with the black borders. If you squint real hard, that forest aura kind of looks like a red ink after drinks. I'm not drinking tonight. I'm just drinking the these THC seltzers, no alcohol. Maybe it was the alcohol that gave us bad luck last time. First pack, a Mothman pack, and we're starting with a reverse Salem's Witches. I don't like that. What are they at now? Jonathan Barrios says the prices on first edition booster box are going up. What are they at right now? I think after tonight's stream, I'll have less than 20 boxes left. So maybe I'll slow down a little bit after tonight's stream. 150? That sounds about right. So they've more than doubled since the $69.99. But how many are selling at that price of 150? Ty Collect says, hey, Nick, just did my first show today. Placed second in Men's Classic League. Hyped. Awesome, bro. Congrats. Which show was it? I'm assuming it was an NPC show. Oh, there we go. That's a good start. There's our full hollow Mothman. Fucking finally. Oh, cool. The Van City Showdown. Wasn't that where I just saw a video before I came on live of Quint Beastwood doing a guest posing. Isn't that where he did that guest posing? So that was a pretty big show then. Oh, cool. Yeah. And they also had, from the video that I saw, they had a really nice plain black backdrop for that show, right? Looked like a pretty cool show. There we go. Finally. Starting off right. Balls Mahoney said there's a PSA 10 of the Moth that just went for 162. So the Moth is going back up a little bit too. I think at the very low point, because I've had so many first edition Moths in a PSA 10 over the years, and I constantly sell them back into the secondary market. But I think the lowest Moth that I sold was maybe $70. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I'm sure that plain black backdrop made for better pictures for sure. Everything else is icing on the cake now. Where the fuck did I put? Oh, there they go. So yeah, my new concoction when I'm trying to be sober is Sprite Zero, one of these Delta Lights, and then a Yeti cup full of ice is like my new combo. I love these. Super Retro Gamer Bro says, can we talk about how Nightfall booster box's floor rose like $30? So what is Nightfall at like $60 now? Meta's just had a short squeeze, $1,000 a box last night and back to $5 a box this morning. I should have sold. Reverse Chupacabra. Looks like we might not get any of that famous Metazoo clumping. Holy shit, really? Nightfall's going for $70 to $75? What do you think about there only being 2,000 wilderness boxes on the inventory list? Um, I think there's definitely a lot still out there. I mean, it doesn't have to be a part of the sale, but I think Wilderness was like one of the last sets because it was right after Nightfall. They definitely overprinted it, but Wilderness was one of the last sets that I think really still sold pretty well. So I think there was a lot of LGSs, a lot of distributors, a lot of different people that bought a ton of Wilderness seeing the success of Nightfall. So even though they don't have it in the inventory, I mean, we all know it's still kind of flopped, so I'm sure there's a lot of people still holding on to a ton of it that just can't sell it. But I'm not really surprised there's only 2,000 because that was still like when Wilderness came out, it was still peak Metazoo hype, so I'm sure as many people as possible ordered it. Had these big vendors like Card Shop Live had a ton of it. Remember before Metazoo officially went belly up, Card Shop Live had that like mega blowout sale, and a lot of it was Wilderness, and who knows how many thousands of boxes they burned through on that sale. I wonder where Metazoo would be if UFO came out instead of when Wilderness did in a lower print. So you're saying if UFO came out earlier? I think I'll be honest. I think Wilderness was a more fun set overall than UFO. I think UFO didn't just flop because it was overprinted. I think UFO flopped because it wasn't as fun, and I think there were too many hollows that were like worth nothing. So it kind of fixed the problem of opening a box and not getting any hollows, but it kind of became a problem of you're opening a box of UFO and you're getting way too many hollows, those little spirit orbs or whatever, just not worth anything. I think it kind of diluted the interest. Kickstarter's up. They're going for 800 to 925. Yo, Nick, any word from PSA if they graded your lolcow promos? Let me check. So Beckett looks like they're 100% going to grade them because I sent them in like a month ago to Beckett, and I've been kind of waiting to hear back. And officially today, they started grading all the lolcow cards, and they already sent me an invoice. So Beckett is grading them, but let me check my PSA submission here. And this PSA submission has been taking forever. Yeah, so I sent this PSA submission in the beginning of September. They didn't scan it in until September 10th. And it says they're still in research and ID, so they don't even have the promos listed yet. What's up, Jimmy Cutlets? Got another wrench there in the chat. What's up, dude? Yeah, I know when I talked to Tuffy, he was saying that there's been several people that have sent in lolcow over the past few months to PSA, and none of them have had any luck with them actually grading them. But I don't know, maybe now when they go through the research phase, I would assume these grading companies have got to like check other grading company databases to see like what is this card? Is anybody else grading it? What's what the interest here? And I wonder if now that Beckett and CGC are grading them, especially that promo card, is going to be in the system, it's going to be in their database. I wonder if PSA like checks that, and maybe it'll help the chances of them grading it. But I don't know. I think you have to have like some kind of formal approval with your ownership of your game and PSA, some kind of direct agreement. I don't think they'd just start grading new TCGs like randomly. I think you have to have some kind of relationship and like a kind of a formal agreement. Metazoo Josh says, you guys see I framed all the best zoo cards. What do you mean? On your Instagram or something? Vaults of Zool says, make sure you check out the new PB Magnet 4 video on how to file your Metazoo bankruptcy claims. Yeah, a lot of people have been messaging me, and I think as many people as I can, they were asking for a copy of the letter that we got. Either they didn't get one or they lost theirs, and they're trying to file their claims before October 8th when this is supposed to all go down. So if you don't have the paperwork, you don't know where to send it, how to file the claim, if there's a video on it, definitely check out that video. But if you need a copy of the letter, I'll send you my copy. Just hit me up on Instagram. Where is Umu? I haven't seen Umu in a while either. At least not talking about Metazoo. He's still posting videos, just none of them are about the zoo. The audio's dropping. I don't know what the deal is with this. We started good. We started hot. Let me see what it sounds like here. Testing. Damn, it is dropping. Just let it go for like 5 minutes. Refresh it, let it go for like 5 minutes. And in 5 minutes, if it's dropping, let me know. I kind of assumed because of the run. Oh, I already did this pack. Oh, he's got a video on it. This Metazoo Josh guy, I'll definitely have to check it out. He says it's definitely worth checking. I think that Nick would be interested in framing cards like that. I'll have to check that out for sure. So he's just framing individual cards? Because the only stuff that I've framed has been uncut sheets. Nice, full hollow Bigfoot. This box is looking pretty decent so far. Oh, cool. It's a big frame with 72 cards. But they're not great. They're not slabs, right? You're talking about just framing a raw card. So what's the latest? I don't think there is a latest. There hasn't been anything new. I'll probably do a video too of the uncut sheets that we're making for the promos when they come this week, because I think they look really sick. Because you got to remember, it's like with a Metazoo uncut sheet, some people don't like the red borders, some people do. I personally like them. I think they look good in a PSA slab. But on an uncut sheet of regular Metazoo cards, there's like a lot of red in that uncut sheet. So if you're not a big fan of all those red lines, sometimes it doesn't look the best. But I think with the black borders on the sample cards that we did, you can kind of see it here. I think they actually look pretty sick on an uncut sheet. If you had like a black frame with a white mat, then maybe like another black mat inside of that, I think it would look really sick framed up. So that's what I'm going to do, is get like a custom frame made for it. What's up, Billy Bucks? Because all that I really have, I'll show you guys in a second, but most of you guys have seen them 1,000 times. They're not really frames. They're more of like really big shadow boxes because they're deep enough to hold slabs. And really, you could probably put like little action figures or something in there too. But they're more shadow boxes than frames. And they hold that. This big one here was custom made. It holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 by 4. So is that 56? 50 slabs. I think a typical one holds like 36 slabs. I've got a couple more littler ones over there. But then I do have, where is that? Guess it's behind me. I'll flip you guys around. I've got that frame too, which has like, the mat has the slots cut out of it to fit a graded card. I thought that one was pretty unique too. But I do like different ways of displaying cards. Nick, I sent a photo of it to your Insta. Okay, give me a sec. See, that's what's about this, trying to stream on this phone because it's a little bit better quality. I don't get the notifications that I do. Like, the notifications come quicker to this phone than they do on my spare trap phone that I've got over. Let me grab the trap phone now. All right. Instagram. Oh, wow, that is pretty cool. So are there little slots on there that the cards go in, or is it like a double-sided tape type of thing, equally spaced out on a mat? So I'm trying to think how you would do this without damaging the back of the card. So I'm assuming you probably wouldn't do double-sided tape. That's pretty cool though. Oh, the fake Metazoo game. Oh, Metazoo Games YouTube is in here. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Josh. And yeah, if you guys have won one of the raw promos over the year or over the not the years, over the past few streams, you can now grade with Beckett. So check that out if you want to get those raw ones graded. Oh, you did use double-sided tape. I was gonna say that's the only way to think of to really get that, just space it out equally. Man, now we're on a reverse hollow spree here. Well, there's really been no better time to do it than now. If you're gonna ruin some cards, you can probably get them for cheaper now. Well, the last couple weeks, seems like prices are going back up, but never been a cheaper time to ruin some full hollow first edition Metazoo cards if you want to make a cool display. So can't really blame you there, bud. Fake Metazoo Games YouTube has officially banned Escaped Alien. Damn, another reverse. Escaped Alien does have a promo card, just not with Metazoo. With, I believe it's called System Gate, right? Got it right here. That cool shattered ice hollow. Really cool foiling on that bad boy. Unending Fire Crystal. Let me see if I have that video of my uncut sheet on this other phone here. Who did I send it to? Probably sent one to Tim, right? Let's see. Sorry for the dead air here. So I don't save a whole lot of shit on this other phone. Well, here's one of just the holo. So it's kind of the same type of holo scheme as Metazoo, the same type, and it's just going to be within that square. I don't have art on this phone though, because I never update this phone, Josh. It only updates when I log in and connect to Wi-Fi, and I always decline the updating all the messages and shit, because I don't really ever look at this phone. Oh wait, there we go. I think all that black is gonna look sick, framed up with a nice black frame. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. So yeah, we're gonna auction one of those off for charity. There's only 5 made. I'm giving one to the owner of Law Cow. We're actually trading uncut sheets. He's got an uncut sheet from one of the Law Cow sets. He's gonna trade me for one of mine. I'm gonna keep one and frame it. And so there's 2 gone. There'll be 3 left. I'm probably gonna give one of the to one of my buddies, probably to Chris, and then auction off just the one, and then one of the stamped serialized cards. And 100% of it will be going to a local animal shelter called the Hamilton County SCPA. Now I'm assuming you guys might know better than I do, because I've never done a charity auction on eBay. So on eBay, I clicked the charity. I clicked that the auction was for charity and 100% of the proceeds to go to that charity. So does eBay, when that sale is finalized, do they just automatically send the money to that charity through eBay? Full Hollow Slide Rock Bolter. I just fell asleep really late, and then I slept forever. And I didn't wake up till 6. What did I miss here? They're still talking about Escaped Alien. Smoking Them Grits says never did a charity on eBay. Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works. I just marked 100% goes to charity on the eBay thing, and then I selected the charity from their drop-down menu. I'm assuming they just automatically donate it. What's up, Pedro? Forest Gods Amber Full Hollow. Did you ever send me your shipping address, Pedro? I think I was still waiting on yours. That means this upcoming weekend will be the last before my birthday and wedding, so I have to skip. So we are doing next weekend, right? Are we all invited? Okay, cool. I'll get you shipped out tomorrow, Pedro. Yeah, we should be able to do it next weekend. It's been like 5 weeks in a row now that me and Josh haven't got together for our workouts. And this one was my fault. I just slept way too late. 6 weeks. Man, has it been 6 weeks? It goes by quick. Versus Flatwoods Monster. Well, at least when you come next weekend, you can have one of the very first of the new promo cards. They'll definitely be here before next weekend. Man, a lot of reverse in this box. Kirk Nelson says, I love Metazoo. Why do you love it? I love the artwork and I love the cryptids. I live in Ohio, so Mothman and Frogmen are both pretty local lore, and they're like the two biggest and probably some of the best artworks in the whole set. Getting spot where video freezes on my PS5. Where's the best place to buy boosters of Metazoo? If you're buying a whole booster box, I would keep checking eBay. I would keep checking that Event HQ. I think they're still selling some Metazoo booster boxes. I think they still have Wilderness Seance. I think they still have the Kickstarter spell books, but I think they raised the price on those like $350 or something. Bunny Man. Also, I have my newspaper with my. Oh, you found it? Do they have any in the gas stations? I would say it's still up in the air until the 8th, when we find out for sure whether or not the offer was approved. But I have a very strong feeling it will be. I'm sure a lot more like HQ are coming. It says fun collectibles. The inventory is too low, so people have the rest. I definitely agree that some of the numbers on that inventory sheet were surprisingly low. And I think the biggest thing was the lack of native. Because I kind of understand the lack of first edition, the lack of Nightfall. I think a lot of first edition was opened. I think a lot of first edition was sold to individuals on the secondary market because that was like peak Metazoo. Nightfall was a lower print run, still very popular. I think that one sold to a lot of individuals, maybe not as many people hoarding those two sets. And I think a lot of the people that were hoarding it probably sold it when it was $800 a box. I don't think very many people waited until they're selling it for $70 a box. I think that was probably just a really, I want to get out of it now type of thing. But yeah, I do agree a lot of those numbers on that sheet were surprisingly low. But first edition, I don't know. I still think edition is probably a good investment if you can get it cheap enough. I think a lot of it happened in just the fact that that print run was so low. I don't know how many more people are sitting on just hundreds, or really could be just sitting on hundreds of boxes. I don't know. But I do kind of wonder where all the native is at. Because I don't feel like very much native ever hit the market on the... because they had like those waves of native, right? And both waves were pretty small, where they kind of released to the secondary market. And there's none at the printer, and there's none in the Metazoo warehouse. So where is it all? There's got to be more somewhere, right? Or did they just really have a tiny, tiny print run that they weren't honest about? Because I mean, based on just the sheer lack of boxes that seem to even be available on the secondary market, like one of the reasons why the price is holding so strong for native is because there's not that many listings. Like there's not that many people even selling it. So I don't think there's that much of it really out there. And so some of these like really low, the scarcity of it seems like the print run would have had to be less than like 5,000 boxes. No, that's just two different Joshes, I think. As a native is the set that got me into Metazoo, says Medicine Bag. Have a master set. Wish I had a couple booster boxes. Native was printed based on pre-orders. I think they shared product before bankruptcy. That's also possible. Mike took all the native for future funds. Out of native big box blisters was more than any big box blister. That's true. There was a shitload of native blister packs. That is true. I wonder, do they still have them on the Target website? That might be one of the cheapest places to buy native now. Let's see. They did have native for a really long time. Let's just search Metazoo on Target's website here. Dude, they still have them. Yeah, they're still up. $12.99 for a 3-pack of native. So you're looking at about $4 a booster pack. Maybe that's not cheaper than just buying a booster box. I know that native booster boxes are back up over $100, right? So let's just say on the calculator here, 100 divided by 36, about $2.70 a pack. Well, even at $9.99, that's still $3 a pack, $3+ a pack. I can't remember if the pull rates were better or worse in the native blister packs. Those are set to 1 full holo and 2 bursts guaranteed. In the blister packs, they are? Maybe that is a good deal then. It looks like... And it's interesting, it looks like native is the only thing, these native 3-pack blister packs, the only thing they have left of Metazoo. I don't see any Seance blisters. I don't see any Kuromi blisters. That looks like the only blister pack they still have left in stock. Interesting. HQ was selling it cheap too. I don't think are you talking about Evend HQ? I don't think they had any native, did they? See, that's the key question, Funko Slumpkin. Did they print more big box native than regular? I don't know, man. It certainly seems that way. But who fucking knows? Who fucking knows how true any of these print runs are? I mean, I think it's obvious that the print runs were higher for Wilderness, UFO, and Seance than Nightfall and Cryptid Nation and Native, but was it really 100,000 of everything? Phoenix Rain. Escaped Alien says they still Kickstarter. See, that's the other thing too, is what's stopping them from doing that? Why couldn't they do that? I mean, these Chinese printers have already proved they're pretty sketchy. So what's stopping them from someone saying some Kickstarter and they do it? Do a lot of people play this game, or are they just collecting the cards? I think obviously now, without there being tournaments, there's much more of a collector community than player community. But there's definitely still people that get together at their LGS and still play. I definitely think there was a pretty hardcore group of guys that enjoy the play, but I think for the most part, people are here to collect. That's not a bad theory, Escaped Alien. I think one of the biggest things that shocked me was that big wave of Kickstarter spellbooks hitting Event HQ, because it was like almost 100 of them, which is a big chunk of a print run that was supposed to be 2,500 of everything. And it doesn't make sense why they would, if you had that much Kickstarter, why would you wait till now to sell it? Wasn't there a point where a Kickstarter spell book was like $5,000? Are you a patron of Rudy's? I am. Tizharuk, full hollow. Catching Cryptid says Native might have been when financials were going to shit. Couldn't pay the printer, so they had to pay for that as printed so they wouldn't get beat for more. Could be. And it seems like maybe we'll never know. And there's no way to prove it, but I still have a strong feeling there's some kind of connection between whoever was selling on Max TCG on TCG Player and selling on Event HQ, which seems to just be a consignment eBay page. Because if you guys remember, that was like one of the big flagship items that they kept just like fire selling on Max TCG, was specifically the Kickstarter spell books. And most of all the booster boxes that we're seeing on Event HQ were also the same booster boxes that they had on Max TCG, constantly the lowest price on the secondary market, just constantly undercutting everybody. But we don't have like a proven correlation. But it certainly seems very sketchy. And I believe Max TCG is completely gone now, too, right? Menace says, I heard there was a lot of gatekeeping with the gameplay, too, so the same top players would keep cashing in. I forget which channel was talking about it. That could have been Easton that was talking about it. Escaped Alien says, yeah, IP is always a problem with China. U.S. government's very unlikely to pursue consequences for a card game. True. Jake says, Argos made a good point. It would be nearly impossible to reprint samples or Kickstarter at a later time and have them look identical to the original ones. The paper and the ink would be off somehow. I mean, maybe that's true, but would it really be off enough that, I mean, PSA has become notorious. I mean, all these grading companies have become notorious for grading fakes. Could the ink and the paper really be off enough that they would deem it counterfeit? What's up, LawCal Live? What's up, man? Camping trip into a Nick stream. W weekend. Nice, bro. JP Gaming says, I see native first edition boosters on TCG for $90. Is that plus shipping, though? Another full hollow Chupacabra. Nah, bro, just think this company was made some years ago, probably using the same paper. There's another way to tell. I could see a relaunch with the same art, but different style of card, text boards, etc. Wings almost died. Boogie got buried alive. I haven't watched any of this yet, so I got to catch up. Nick, do you think Argos will ever come back? Probably not. I think Argos was probably burned more than most people were. And I think with the way that he was riding so hard for Metazoo and really defending it at every turn, they really kind of made him look like a dumbass throughout the whole thing. And I'm sure they kind of strung him along and played him the whole time. And he was left with a heavy bag, and he was all left kind of looking like a dumbass for defending them for so long. And I'm sure he's probably burned bad enough that he's never coming back, whether it comes back or not. And I don't blame him one. Because I've heard from multiple people, they just fed Argos whatever bullshit they wanted to beat us. And I feel like they really played him and just like kind of dangled that carrot in front of him, and then through proxy dangled it in front of us and really kind of played him. And I think now that now the dust has settled, I think Argos realizes the way they treated him and how they used him, and he's just like, fuck them. Did you see Umu's video about Argos like 8 days ago? I did not see it. I'm assuming it wasn't a very flattering one. I mean, I really liked Argos. He's a really nice guy. I've got nothing bad to say about him, but I do think Metazoo unquestionably used him to feed us, the same shit they wanted everybody to believe through him. That's why Bailey talking shit on Argos was messed up. Yeah, I agree 100%. I took Argos' side on the whole Argos versus Bailey thing for that reason. Justin says, I have this bad feeling his wifey told him I told you so about riding so hard for the zoo. Probably. And also, Argos has a family. He's got however many kids, married. He's got other responsibilities. And once a company like this burns him bad enough, it's like, why even waste any more time on it? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have kids and families too, but Argos was definitely, I think, in over his head with it. And I think he realizes that now in hindsight. Argos is a straight up doctor. Yeah, I'm sure financially Argos is fine. It's not like they burned him too bad financially, even though financially, numbers wise, he probably took a loss than most of us. But I think it was more of a timing. I mean, think of all the time, all those late night streams, all the shipping orders, just all the time Argos committed to Zoo that he could have spent with his family. And he's probably looking back like, man, I wasted all that time on this company that was just using me. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So I don't blame him if he never comes back. Ooh, nice. Death Beam. LawCal TCG says, my thing about Argo, he defended Metazoo at the cost of insulting people in the community. He knew what was going on in the background. Not all the details, of course. I mean, I definitely believe that he knew something. I still don't believe that he knew how bad it was. I don't think he knew Upsy was right around the corner. I don't think he knew Metazoo shutting down was right around the corner. I'm sure maybe he knew that things were not going well. I'm sure he had heard some of the same stuff that I had heard about the artist, why they were leaving and quitting and the way they were treated. And I'm sure he probably heard about some of these financial issues that were going on. You'll have to refresh my memory. I don't remember exactly what videos he made, making videos trying to make fun of people saying Metazoo was in trouble. It's been so long now since I've seen an Argos video, I can't remember. I will say this too. I think if Argos did know they were in trouble, I do believe he probably knew before he sold some of that stuff on eBay because he was selling like, sample cards and grails and stuff. I do think he probably knew before that, but I don't think he knew for a long time. Because even when Argos was selling his stuff, it was like a couple weeks later that Mike posted the letter, or maybe even a week later or something like that. So I think maybe Argos knew like a month before the closure that something was really wrong. But I don't think he knew all the details, and I don't think he knew for like a long time that things were going. Because I'm sure, because he was constantly positive about the future of Metazoo, so I'm feeding him, like even when they were doing bad, I'm sure they were saying, yeah, everything's great. All these sets, Legacy, War, SCP, all this stuff is coming out. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. We just had delays, whatever. And I'm sure it wasn't until like, things were really bad that he probably got wind of something. He made a video saying that Kuromi boxes were doing great and that people saying Metazoo. Okay, yeah, I do remember that video. But at the same time, I can't totally fault Argos because I think he didn't directly lie to us. I feel like he was told that they were doing great. And maybe he did see on his website they were selling well. And maybe he was told by Metazoo, look, this is a huge success. There's really high demand, whatever. And maybe he was just kind of leaning into what he was told. And he is a good salesman too. So, I mean, if he was told, look, this set's a smash hit, it's really popular, whatever. And he had 1,000, didn't he say he had like 1,000 booster boxes to sell? So if he was told it's doing good, of course he's going to say that. And maybe on his website it was doing good because Argos's prices are always pretty fair at release. I definitely agree with that. I think if you had to point to one specific moment where the tide really turned, like a nail in the coffin moment, I do think it was the TCG player eBay dump of Hello Kitty. I think that was the moment where people were like, whoa, something shady's going on here. Because if you remember at that time, they undercut everybody with that. Everybody that was selling booster boxes got undercut like a week into the release of the Hello Kitty set. Trying to show numbers from TCG player sales, if I remember right. Man, it's crazy. That Hello Kitty release feels like forever ago. I'm trying to think of the timeline on all this. So we're talking about the Dark Tower people not getting paid. That was late September. So you still had October, November, December. Then the letter was posted in January. And the Hello Kitty release was initially supposed to be Halloween, right? It was late. So I believe it came out in November, right? The Kuromi set ended up being November. So then a month and a half later, Metazoo's done. I guess that is a pretty clear turning point. I mean, that does seem like a pretty easy conclusion to draw because they were already showing signs of struggling financially. If the Dark Tower was late September and those people didn't get paid, get paid all the way through into the Kuromi release, which was also late. So you saw the signs of the financial issues. Kuromi comes out, then like a week into release, TG player undercuts the MSRP, like cuts it in half. So everybody that just bought it just got fucked. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty clear. That was something that I think really contributed taking like the final nail in the coffin, taking them down. Remember when he opened all those seance boxes, mixed them up? Yeah, that's true. Argos did seem like a good dude. It was like little stuff like that. When he found out they were mappable, he'd take out the packs and make sure people got hits. Oh, for sure, bro. That's a good point too. Metazoo Black Market says Bailey and Argos both knew the end was coming. Bailey was pissed at Argos for dumping early. I was in a private DM group with both of them and got to watch them fight for like 2 weeks. I kind of got the feeling that Bailey would have also dumped product, but he chose not to. And I think he was pissed that Argos did and he didn't, and he didn't really get any reward for waiting. I think was more of the issue. I firmly believe that if Mike was like, yeah, go ahead, dump your stuff if you want to, I think Bailey would have too. I saw some 6 boxes bids. He was cool, bring him to the show. We need Argos to give us his opinion. Argos and Diddy. Nick Strength and camping trip win. We can open yeah. I'm sure the connection would be great on a camping trip if I can't even get perfect connection here in my house with a router right next to me. Oh, there's a nice little Mothman back there. Cryptid camping. And I don't want to throw any shade on the Bailey either, because every time I've talked to Bailey, every interaction that I've had with him has been positive. He usually just gives me information and he tells me stuff that he finds out either from Mike or for whoever. But he's always been nice to me, whether he seems to have kind of a bad reputation now. But I will say, I'm not a fan of the cryptid camp. I don't like the artwork. I don't think it's a good idea. And I think it's going to fail miserably. It's just way too close to Metazoo. And the artwork is like the exact same watercolor style, just like a reimagined version of the same cryptids. I saw they posted a Mothman one, they posted a Snipe one, and I think it's going to do terrible. Again, no shade on Bailey. I just think that I think Metazoo has a better shot at coming back successfully by a lot than Cryptid Camp does of like catching fire and being the next big thing. I think Bailey would be nice to you though, since you're you. Dude is whacking a bully to so many people, says Escaped Alien. I don't like saying anything negative about someone that I've never had a negative experience with. I am aware that he bullied people and whatever, but it's hard when someone's never screwed me over to say anything negative about them. No, I've seen some of that stuff for sure. And I didn't like the way he handled the situation with Argos. I thought that should have went differently too. And honestly, I think these guys that kind of made these Metazoo spin-off games are probably really pissed right now. Because I think Metazoo looks like it's got a good shot coming back. They thought it was just dead in the water. Cryptid Camp, I think, is one of them, but I think Nom Nom is another one because it's kind of a similar style of work. It's Victor Larson heading the project, who used to be, I believe he managed the artist at one point. He was like the art director at Metazoo. And they're like, what, 4 or 5 months late now with delivering their Kickstarter? It's constant delays. It's like Metazoo all over again. They're not meeting their deadlines. It looks very similar to Metazoo. And now that Metazoo has this chance at coming back, I think all these guys are probably not going to do very well. Yeah, TCG's got to quit trying to be Metazoo 2.0. I'll just pull up a picture of some of the Cryptid Camp stuff. Because initially I thought maybe if they do something entirely different, like if they take this cryptid thing in a totally different direction than Metazoo, maybe they'd have some kind of chance of doing a completely unrelated cryptid project. But if you look at the artwork, like this is their Mothman. It's like the same watercolor scheme. It's even done by Kelsey, the same artist as the Mothman. So it feels just way too close to what Metazoo is or Metazoo was. And it's not like a completely new, separate thing. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what character this is supposed to be. El Cuco? But like it's the exact same style. And I hated this, to be honest. This is their version of Snipe. I was not a fan of this one. I think the Metazoo Snipe was so much better. So they are like making different designs of the cryptids, but so far I don't like them. Art style is like the same. It's just way too close, way too similar. And the people in the comments were actually being like really really positive on this new Mothman work. I got to be totally honest. I absolutely hate this Mothman. I hate it. I hate it so much. Yeah, Nom Nom is not impressing me so far. It's like every time it's exactly like Metazoo. Every time there's an update to their Kickstarter, it's like, sorry, here's another delay. And I think I only got 4 booster boxes from Nom Nom anyway, so I'm not too invested, but I would like to get them at some point. Oh yeah, I still got to get the Crown booster box. I totally forgot about that. Make sure you message me and remind me. I totally forgot. Your slab is actually still out in my car in my center console. Vaults of Zool says, I feel like Obscuridia has a good chance, but it's very different from Zoo art. I've never even heard of that. I collect like 20 TCGs, but I never try them. Hero Quest table at Comic Con was 100% an empty table. Yeah, Hero Quest is dog shit too. That mosquito dressed up as moth. It looks like a mosquito. Yeah, the car's fixed. The car's good. Walkout says, I'm not a fan of Kickstarter. Fun Collectible says, I like these coins. I like those coins that come out of... I don't even know what that means. Cryptid Camp is probably trying to beat Metazoo to the punch. on Around the World Cryptids. Pretty dick move. Were some of those, I guess some of those cryptids were like other countries, huh? I don't even think Cryptid Campus came out and said what exactly they're going to be. Have they confirmed they're going to be a card game? Like if they're just doing another cryptid card game with the same art style, I don't think that's going to work. And like I said, it seems like Bailey doesn't have the best reputation in the Metazoo community anyway. So it's like if anybody try to start a Metazoo spinoff successfully, it'd probably be someone like Argos or someone a bit more trusted and not like the guy that people think is shady, starting off like a Metazoo kind of ripoff. BD says these past 3 years are full of regret. I wish I would have stuck with Yu-Gi-Oh or switched to Magic. Yep. But here we are. It's like the ex-girlfriend that you can never get over. We're still here, hoping that there's still a chance. Metazoo's the one that got away, and we're hoping she comes back. Yeah, I'm hoping my OG art was worth the buy. What did you buy, Mud? But yeah, since Lawcal's in here now, I'll remind you guys again. So what we're going to do when we get the new samples in this week, he's going to have them, or not the samples, but the promos. He's going to have them in tomorrow. And in addition to these two cards, I've already started these two auctions, 100% going to charity, a local animal shelter, the SCPA branch of Hamilton County. 100% of those eBay auctions are the Golden Tape CGC 10, which is like one of Lawcal's premier cards. Then the NSP sample promo 8.5, which is the highest grade that I have left. Both those auctions are up now. I think they're both just at like $20 or something. But when we get the other promos in, we're going to auction off just one of the serialized promos, the new holo promos, and one of the uncut sheets. So we have an auction of one of everything for people that aren't able to make it live to the stream. I got a lot of messages from people saying we only replay because you stream so late, which is true. I stream pretty late at night at weird hours. So I thought it'd be good to have a fair opportunity for people to get them if they want them. I sell them under the table through Instagram DMs. And I figured if I do sell them, I want them to be a public auction, going to charity, fully transparent so people can see what I sold them for. And honestly, we're almost completely out. I've given away. So this is the one I'm selling these. Let's see how many slabs I have left. I kept one CGC 9 for myself, and I kept one CGC or the DSG 8.5 for myself. So 3, and then so it looks like I only have 4 of the CGC slabs left to even give away or sell or whatever. But I'm thinking I'm just going to keep it to one auction of each thing. I've got only one DSG left. So I've barely even got any left. So I guess now would be a good time to give a couple away. Let's give away the last DSG and one of the 8.5s. And like I said, I'm going to have a better system for these giveaways when we do the holo promos. But for these, I'm just going to pick 2 guys here. Yeah, I do have some at BGS right now. They're now officially gradable with BGS. Balls Mahoney. All right, I'll give you one. And who still needs one? I'm trying to see names that I haven't picked yet. Lyle, you don't have one? Yeah, these were like the sample print run, Brian. So the new cards that we have coming are like the higher quality, better printed cards. All right, Lyle in balls. You each get one. And you know what? Meta Dave too. All right, so those are the three we'll give away tonight. Where's Sharpie at? Just all you guys message me your address. And now I only have one slab left for the next stream of the original sample run here. Lyle Swanson. And Balls Mahoney. The lanterns are a cool idea. What lanterns? Balls. All right, yeah, you guys just message me your addresses. I'll get these out too. All right. Oh, cool, man. I appreciate that. Just buy something off your business. Okay, cool. Cool. That works. Just shoot me a note if you do buy something. Did I already go through these packs? Shoot me a note if you do buy something and remind me that you're Meta Dave and you won an auction or whatever so I can throw it in there. I'm going to do a mini set with LawCal of just NSP related cards, but I just don't have the time to build my own TCG now. It'd be too stressful. Yeah, I did. They messaged me. I can't remember what name you said, but I don't think it was the same. I don't think it was the same name as the person's actual name. But yes, I got that sent out. I think that Pedro was the only guy from the last stream that I hadn't shipped it because I was waiting on his address, and he just sent it to me earlier today. So he's good to go now. Nick, if I buy a slab on your eBay, will you autograph it? Just any random slab? I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know why you don't want me to sign a random slab, but yeah. Yeah, Lyle, that's fine. As long as I get your ad in some form and you remind me on eBay. Actually, Racy, if you just want to send me your address, I'll just mail you a promo in case I forget about the meetup or don't have time. I don't care about paying for shipping. I'll just mail you your promo that's out in the car, so I don't forget about it. I would assume the shipping won't be too bad since you live too close. It'll probably be like $2 or $3. Shirtless pic. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. If you buy just a random slab or yeah, we can do that. I'll send you the slab and you can just get my address off that package. I'll put my address on there. Oh, really? The train chemical thing? That sucks. Yeah, I did see the news about that. So what are we going to that wedding that got talked earlier? What wedding? Old Brooks crying tree. Old Book's crying tree. Man, I'm not gonna lie. These Delta drinks, I'm high as fuck right now. It just hit me hard. When I was writing those names on those packages, I was like, fuck. I didn't think we talked about my sister's wedding on this stream, did we? Lolcow says I started Lolcow with a friend, and now we have a team of over 42 people, 20 artists included. Nice. Oh, you like them? You bought some of the versions of Delta. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like them, man. The thing that I don't like about edibles, though, is there's no gradual high. You just drink it, and then maybe an hour later, it just hits you like a brick. But it's a little easier to pace yourself when it's a drink and not just like a gummy, and then the gummy just blasts you an hour later. Reverse Wendigo. Ooh, that's a good combo. You mixed half of one with a spiked Simply Lemonade. Nice. You found the inner what package? With a name on it? What was the name on it? Remind me. Do those drinks dehydrate you like edibles? I haven't found that they do. They do give me a little bit of dry mouth, I would say. I'm doing all art myself because I'm poor and Arcanum TCG. I've heard of that one. Yeah, they've got a few representations of Boogie in the Lolcow. Werewolf of Defiance. That's kind of a bunk nightfall, man. Fifth one coming out in the holiday release. The fifth Boogie. Nice prism beam. What would you say, Law Cow? What would you say your #1 card is? Your most sought after card? Would you agree that it's the Gold Ape? Is that like the biggest hit you think you guys have had, as far as like a single card that's like very desirable? Golden Ticket, 5-seated and volume 0 pack. Holders get free Law Cow for life. Golden Ticket. I didn't pull those, right? I ain't seen a Wendigo either. We got a reverse, but not full hollow. Ah, that's cool. The ownership transfers. I like that idea. Do you have a picture of what the Golden Ticket looks like? If you do, send it to me on Instagram. I'll show chat. I don't think I've seen one yet. Born from the Earth. Yo, Nick, you ever been so high that you've seen an alien? Tonight? There's one in here right now. Potion seller. All right, let me check and see. I'll wait on that picture from Walcow. Oh, dude, that's the worst part about it, is the munchies. Because even though you're not getting those extra calories from the alcohol, there has not been a night yet where I didn't get some extra calories from the munchies. Okay, he said he just sent it. Let me do this pack. Man. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's sick. So that's the Golden Ticket. Yeah, sweet. I definitely hadn't seen that yet. Sick. I think right now there's a blue ink sitting in that box. This one's first edition, so there shouldn't be a blue ink in there. Headless Horseman. Opening packs evolves into opening bag Doritos. Well, the weird thing for me has been, since I started doing these drinks, I've never had a sweet tooth. I've never been a guy that likes candy or pastries or any of that stuff. But when I've been drinking these drinks, I get like a crazy sweet tooth for like ice cream or something, which I never have in my regular life. I've never been a sweets guy. Ah, we're gonna end on a Mothman reverse in that box. Damn, dude. All right, let's do another box of first edition. Hopefully, well, we did get a Mothman at least from the other first edition box. Yeah, when I smoked a lot of weed in like high school and college, and back then it was like, yeah, like White Castle, something like savory and greasy and salty would be the only thing I would want when I get the munchies, like Taco Bell or something disgusting like that. It's never been sweets, but now it kind of is. I guess the older I get, my tastes have changed. Second most sought after is the one of one. Because I have one of the Sonichu medallion cards. I'm assuming it's not the one of one though. There's a non one of one version, right? Cosmic Aura. I was thinking about grading the regular version now that Beckett's grading them. I might send that in with my next Beckett submission. I'm not crazy about Beckett's turnaround time though. I haven't graded them since 2021 because they were pretty slow, but that was kind of the peak of like the trading card fever. But this submission of the and maybe they were just waiting on the making the lolcow thing official, but I feel like they've had this submission for a while now. Chupacabra reverse. Spencer says, now that I'm in my 30s, I can't even drink soda anymore. Like even like like zeros? Is it because of the caffeine or because of the sugar? I've never been a drinker of regular soda ever. My family was a very diet everything family growing up. We never had the regular sugar version of any soft drink, so I never got a taste for it. Hey Nick, been a while. Still watch the vids, but haven't caught a live. What's up, Tomu? So just caught up on the stream. Other data points on sales. I had 4 Black Friday packs on eBay for quite some time. This week got a number of offers and sold all 4 to one person. Nice. Jake said he sold 6 of his yesterday. Yeah. Oh yeah, the sugar for sure. Diet soda came out as worse than regular soda. I think with the aspartame, there's some kind of correlation between that and cancer, but I doubt your chances of getting cancer are any less drinking the regular soda. So I wouldn't say it's worse. There's risk involved with both, I would assume, though. Primal is the way, says the Gallant Goon. I still do have a Primal TCG stuff. I just haven't done an opening with it yet. I was waiting, and I've been waiting on these Nom Nom boxes to do the next indie TCG stream with like some new stuff in there. I've got some more Alestrals that I want to do. I've got a bunch more Primal. We'll have some more Lolcow stuff. I was just kind of waiting on the Nom Nom, and it's just delay after delay. I think we were supposed to have it in July. Never got into sorcery. And I feel like I don't hear about it much now. I feel like when Metazoo first died, everybody in the chat was talking about sorcery. And I feel like it's not as big now. Another full hollow Chupacabra. There's been a lot of Chupacabras in these boxes. I guess there is still a lot of sorcery stands in here. What do you guys think about Chronicles of Arcane? Lorcana, Nom Nom hasn't even released a full set yet. Yeah, I definitely reserved my opinion on Nom Nom because I haven't opened a single product from them, and I still haven't received my Kickstarter. So my opinion right now is neutral, but it's leaning towards bad, just based on the fact they've missed all these deadlines. I think that's a good point that Jake just made. He says these old school Magic the Gathering whales won't be around for long. I don't think sorcery will fare well with the younger crowd. I think that's actually a good point. Thanks, Deegan. I appreciate that. Deegan says, hope you had a great weekend, Nick. You too. I hope you had a good weekend, man. I did. I kind of worked all day yesterday, though, since there were two bodybuilding competitions happening on the same day. And one of the streams lasted like 11 hours. I was watching that goddamn stream all day. It didn't get done till midnight, so I made like 4 videos that day. I was gonna stream last night, but that last stream didn't end till midnight, and I barely got my video posted before 1 a.m. And I was like, man, it's too late for a stream, and I didn't feel like drinking last night either. Nice, Sam Sinclair. I'm in my mid-30s, and I got into Sorcery Alpha because the art was just beautiful, says Chris G. Sorcery has full nudity in it? That's kind of wild, dude. One Piece comes next, then Magic. Flesh and Blood has stagnated, I guess, coming from sports cards. I still just don't get how many just jump from one. I agree with that. I do think there's a lot of people just jumping to the next one. I mean, I've enjoyed. That's kind of why I have been reluctant to pick one that I really like and constantly open that. Is I've opened all these different indie TCGs and still none of them really called to me the same way that Metazoo did. So I haven't really committed to just one. I'm still kind of dating these different indies by opening up on stream just all these different ones and seeing what I like the best. And some cooler than others. Some of them had cooler ideas, some of them had better artwork, whatever, but there still hasn't been one that has really called to me in the way that I just want to buy a bunch of boxes and open just that. Bushman says Electrals is going to be stable but not big. I rarely hear it around. Sorcery will pan out if they keep making new sets. I'm going to do a video on this when all the sales are done, but on my eBay. So when I did all these big indie TCG streams, I graded like all the best hit from each one that I opened on stream. And I listed all the duplicate slabs on eBay. So I'm going to see which TCG. I think right now I've got Chronicles of Arcane. I've got Otherverse on there. I believe I've got the Alestrals on there. And right now, honestly, I think the Alestrals cards have the most watchers. And as far as the secondary market goes, like when you're looking up a card that you're about to list, Chronicles of Arcane and Otherverse, I think, had the least results. And Alestrals had a bunch of people that had already listed. So it seemed like Alestrals had the healthiest secondary market just from experimenting with looking up the listings before I posted them. Lawcow says, I heard Sorcery is getting sued by Wizards of the Coast, but it might be just a rumor. All these others are good for flings. Yeah, but Lawcow is wifey material, just saying. And now we're putting some lolcow cards up on the board to see how they do in the secondary market. I think that's the other purpose that these charity auctions are going to serve, is to put some numbers on the board for what do these cards go for on the second market. Especially that golden tape. I think that'll be a good one to get a number up and see what that goes for. So I'm curious about that escaped alien. I heard someone else say that there's Frank Frazetta art in Sorcery, but he's dead. So they're like repurposing his old artwork within the set. Huh. That is interesting, I guess. I wonder how expensive it was to get the rights to his art. He did do some really good art, especially that's what got my dad into Conan the Barbarian, even before Arnold was in the movie. The books that Frazetta did the artwork for, the Conan, those early Conan cover arts and stuff, were really sick. Just like MTG did, but while he was still alive, he never made art for. Okay. That is interesting, but weren't there like. So I guess my thing would be he can't make new art for new cards or art for cards specifically for card in general. And weren't there games, like weren't there some Marvel sets or something that Frazetta did the artwork for? Like there's other old TCGs. I'm sure they're probably dead now, but I think there was like some Marvel stuff that he did where he did like original art for the cards, right? So I guess my point is the fact that there's other TCGs out there that have original art that was made just for their TCG makes me less excited about the repurposed art in Sorcery. If I had to put money into a card game, it would go right into Sorcery, then Magic, then Flesh and Blood. I'm sure he has lots of art that wasn't used. Did he do the old Fleer Ultra? Maybe that it was definitely a '90s set that I'm thinking of. His family just pouring shit out to everybody under the sun. Art was used on CD covers and drink glasses. That's kind of what I was thinking. Holy Gem. And I always see I always get like Facebook ads and stuff when I'm scrolling on Facebook for the website is called Frazetta Girls or something. I always see they're constantly pushing ads for Frazetta's old art. So it does seem like they're very actively trying to sell whatever they can. And I think they've been doing like signed and numbered prints that are like signed by the family, but they're numbered. Just shit like that. Earth's Core. Because they sold it to Sorcery, then turned around to WotC and sold them the same stuff. So is that what the lawsuit's? Or is that why you think Sorcery would get sued by WotC? It's about the Frazetta stuff? Or is it about something else? Why not keep his art alive? Smart move by his daughter. I mean, I agree with that. You can't really hold it against them. Sorcery had the art first. I doubt it's that. Finally made it to a live. Howdy from Houston, Texas. What's up, dude? Ah, Jersey Devil. I think it was the way they did the contracts. I think Sorcery thought they were getting exclusive, and they turned around and sold it to Magic as well. Sorcery, so they got Quentin Hoover's art from the old Magic the Gathering. He's also deceased, for the infamous Earthbind. I don't know what the lawsuit is, assuming, yeah. A rumor about the design of the game. Someone used to work for them and said the game is too similar. Hey, I'm fine with Frank's art in anything and everything. You go. Can't disagree with that either. I mean, as long as it's not against his wishes. Like when he died, did he say, I don't want to see my shit licensed out on the cups and t-shirts and whatever? He didn't want it to be like bastardized. But if he said, do whatever you want with it, it's yours, and why not? Sorcery is an MTG ripoff. SoCal. That's crazy. Sorcery plays like no other TCG I've seen, says Cheese. Sorcery kind of dunked on MTG with bringing in controversial cards where MTG shied away from him. Hell no, he loved his art. Yeah. I mean, his art is on the Molly Hatchet album. I doubt he can. You're flirting with disaster, bro. And that was like peak Frazetta era, too, when that album came out. Well, I've never played either one. I have no idea about the similarities between how Magic plays and how Sorcery plays. But I'll take your word for it. Another Lizard Man. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling these boxes from Event HQ. These haven't been the best boxes. And after this stream, we'll be 6 boxes in. So hopefully we can get one more Mothman out of this box. Holy Gem. Even pulled all their bunk boxes. I doubt they CT scanned these ones. This flash sale of first edition seemed like they just wanted to get rid of as many as they possibly could at once. I feel like Primal has some staying power and picked up Naruto TCG players immediately. They have a solid player base. I like the Primal card. I like the artwork they've got. I like a lot of their. I've graded some of their cards, but I don't know. The secondary market just seems absolutely non-existent for Primal. Like the interest doesn't seem to be there. And I feel like if you're looking at cards to collect, you want something that's going to go up in value, at least in theory, or at least have some value to start with. And it's like Primal has like nothing. Where like Otherverse has some cards that have gone for like up there. I've seen some Chronicles of Arcane cards sell for up there. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be some kind of chase and some kind of secondary market desirability for something, even if they've got a really good player base. Like when I was trying to list one of my Primal slabs, and when I searched Primal on eBay to look for comparative listings, it was like all Pokemon cards had Primal in the title. I have a Primal card from like 2021. That game has changed so much. I almost doubt it's coming out. I've got a booster box of Primal that I need to open still. They do like one of the long. I'll show you guys. Or did I open it already? I'll have to check. I don't know if I opened the booster box or not. They sent me like a bunch of pre-release packs and stuff to open. And there's some cool stuff in there. Some cool stamped pre-release cards. But I think for something to be cool and collectible to you, it's got to have some element of being cool and collectible to other people. And when that just doesn't seem to exist, like even on their like social media, there doesn't seem to be like anybody that is like super into it. And I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of you guys are still here watching this stream is you guys still love Metazoo, and it's fun to be around other people that still like it, still think it's cool, still collect it. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of a community aspect, whether that community is the secondary market or a YouTube stream or an Instagram page. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of that for Primal. We're like Chronicles of I see people post about all the time. I see people selling in like Metazoo buy sell trade groups, like Chronicles of Arcane stuff. I see people buying it, but like some of these other games, I just don't see talked about at all. And I like LawCal a lot, and that's why I want to help start the discussion on the secondary market with some of these charity links and get people talking about what even is this card, and maybe they look into the game. And actually, I've still got, in case you haven't seen it, the golden. One of the things that really stood out to me about LawCal and why I liked them so much was some of these packaging ideas, like these old NES cartridges. Oh yeah, here we go. They had the gold one. It was like stuff like that made me really like what they've got going on. So hopefully those eBay listings generate some conversation around LawCal with whatever they sell for. I never got into Discord either though. I've tried and it just format of it just wasn't for me. Blood Ruby. I don't think I've never opened one pack of Flesh and Blood either. I never got into that one. Smoking Them Grits says friendly reminder, Kuromi Pink Box UCC for $149 at Pure Blades shop and on. Is that your shop? I don't want to undercut your shop if it's your shop. Okay. Because I did see some on eBay for under 100. They're going for less than $100 now. So I don't know if 150 is still a good deal. That's one thing that hasn't happened anywhere but Whatnot. We've sold tens of thousands of cards, but most people keep what they buy. True. Yeah, I've fallen out of Whatnot too. I used to be super like on there all the time, watching streams, buying shit, and I had to delete it. I was spending too much money on there for one, and for two, I feel like there's a lot of shady stuff going on. I've seen way too many videos recently of like these people looking like they can see that a hit's coming up, taking it off the screen and changing out the pack. I've seen a lot of scam videos like that. Made me kind of like, maybe there's a lot more people doing this on Whatnot. Nice Chaos Crystal. Maybe this box will turn around a little bit. All right. Full Hollow Ghost Train. Nice. So is Flesh and Blood more collector driven, or you think it's more of a playability thing that makes it so appealing? Oh, both? Well, it's definitely a good combo to have. Is that something that Rudy pushes too? Does he still push Flesh and Blood? Or has he kind of moved on that like he did with Metazoo? Yeah, dude, absolutely. That'd be cool. I definitely enjoy some handmade cards for sure. Work with a few sellers, made a few exclusive alternate promos, including 2 different Japanese alt arts for whatnot. Oh, that's cool. Nice, Loveland Frogman. Maybe we're on a little streak here. If we can pull a Mothman out of these last few packs, this will be a pretty good box. It's actually a little different now with Flesh and Blood and Rudy. Last I remember, they said they were upset with him. Interesting. I wonder what he did. He dialed back the negative comments. Wait, Rudy got in trouble with Flesh and Blood's creators, and he's dialed back the negative comments and no longer gets exclusive Flesh and Blood. Okay. So they're mad at him for saying negative things? What's the most cool collectible item that you own? I would say the coolest thing that I've got in my collection is that Charizard that I've got. I've had a full, or not a full hollow, but a hollow Charizard from base set, not first edition. I've had it since I was a little kid. My mom got it for me for Christmas. It was like the one card I wanted when I was like 8 years old. And I've had it for like 20 years. I just found out about grading cards during COVID with the whole Pokemon boom. Graded it with PSA and a PSA 9. I thought it was cool. Then I've had that card for all these years, never knew about grading, and it graded a 9. I thought that was, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. Because most people don't keep cards in very good condition when they're kids. They put them in their pockets, carry them around, their friends, trade them, play them, whatever. But that was like the one card that I had when I was a kid that I just kept it sleeved and didn't play with it. I'm sure I showed it to my friends, but I didn't abuse it. And that thing could have been in any type of condition when I pulled it out to grade it, but got a 9. I was pretty stoked on that. Have you ever heard of or collected the CCG called Guardians? I've never heard of it and never collected it, no. Well, that's the other too, is there's so many new TCG. There's just so many out there. Even in this stream alone, there's been like 3 or 4 mentioned that I've never even heard of. Is Guardians like a new one, or that's like an old one that's now defunct? Okay, it's from the 90s. Uncle Sam. That's a great story, dude. I still treasure my childhood cards. I never had a base set, but had a Gym Heroes. Oh, nice. Blaine's Charizard managed to preserve it pretty well. Yeah, so my thing was I had sold most of my Pokemon cards. I had found one of my binders and I sold that like when I was in college. I had a whole like deck box of like holo rare vintage Yu-Gi-Oh. I sold that when I was in college on eBay. So before they were really worth selling, I maybe got $50 for my entire Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon collection back in whenever this was, 2011 or 2012. And I always regretted that. But the good thing was the Charizard was like my special card that I didn't keep in a binder. I kept in a hard sleeve in the safe that I've had for like 20 years. So it was like the one card that I didn't end up selling when I was like trying to get some extra money in college. And it turned out to have preserved pretty well. I did end up finding another binder though that had some of my other childhood cards still in it that I hadn't sold. So that was good. So I do have a few pages of like jungle and fossil and a little bit of Neo era hollows that are just still in the binder. So that was cool. I don't think, oh, nice, another Chaos Crystal. I don't think they're worth grading though. If this last pack has a Mothman in it, then this was a really solid box. Was that 3 Chaos Crystals out of one box? I'm still kind of surprised though. This is our 6th box that we've opened. And out of 6 boxes, we've only pulled 1 Mothman so far. Those are pretty low. No way. I think this might be a moth. Ah, damn it. It's a Chupacabra. It gets me every time. I was going to say that'd be pretty sick if that was a Mothman. But yeah, so 6 boxes, 1 Mothman. Those are pretty low odds. I think that's the worst odds I've ever had on first edition. But all right. I'll see you guys on the next stream. The next one will have those new promos for you guys. It's either going to be middle of this week or next weekend. But I'll see you guys on